When we come back, we're talking to Jonathan London from Geekscape.net. When we need something to talk about geeks, we go to Jonathan London. Stick around. We are Heidi and Frank.
It's the Heidi and Frank Show. Call Heidi and Frank now at 800-955-5567. Follow them on Twitter at Heidi and Frank. And watch the show live for minimal consideration at HeidiandFrank.com. Now, here's Heidi and Frank on 95.5 KLOS and KLOS HD1, Los Angeles.
Heidi and Frank Show. Oh, it's so hard when the technology is going so fast, and gaming systems are getting more and more advanced, and smart televisions and everything else.
Right.
And recently, there was the E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and that's why we have Jonathan London joining us from Geekscape.net.
There he is.
His podcast. Geekscape runs on Toad Hop Network tonight and every Thursday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Jonathan, good to see you again.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Jonathan?
How are you?
Good.
So, just to clear it up, you have no bias whatsoever towards a gaming system? Or?
No, I own all of them.
You own all of them?
I currently own the Xbox, the PS3, and I even own the Wii U.
Okay, Jonathan.
I'm the guy who got the Wii U, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you are the one.
The only thing that I've ever had, besides when I was a kid and we had the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
As an adult, I had the Wii. I had to go out and get that. I loved that for a while, and then ended up realizing, we don't ever mess with this. We're going to sell it. So we had a garage sale and sold it. As of right now, I have nothing. What should I go get?
It depends on what you do at home, because everything with Xbox and Sony, they're kind of competing for like the home entertainment part of your living room. Mm-hmm. And Nintendo's just like, hey, we'll let those guys beat each other up. We have so much money from mobile gaming on the DS and all that stuff that we're just going to let them beat each other up and try and take over your TV set. So it's really coming down to Xbox versus PlayStation 4, knowing that Nintendo's kind of the board game of the living room. So you're probably going to want the PS4.
Okay.
That's the one that, after spending 2 days at E3, that's the one that everybody seems to be excited about. And
because I love Hulu, I love Netflix, and you mentioned Roku or something the other day, Frank. So is that
Roku box?
A Roku
the
or whatever?
Roku box is it's not. It's something else.
It's something else. Okay.
And then now Redbox is going to be on one of these systems. Like the PS4 is like, you'll have Redbox on it too.
So I don't have to go to the Ralphs anymore and stand out.
Kind of defeats the purpose of having like the homeless dudes at 7-Eleven trying to like get on you while you're trying to just get a.
I'm just trying to pick a movie, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that's obviously the clear winner. It's it's $100 cheaper. And then there were a lot of concerns about the Xbox. They had a press conference in mid-May where they were announcing the Xbox One, and immediately they came out and were like, all right, you're going to be able to play sports and watch television. And we're like, wait, that's everything gamers are already doing or don't do. You're trying to turn us into the people who beat us up in high school. Like, wait, what is this?
Right.
We don't. If you want to play sports, come out with a ball. You know what I mean? Like,
we've invented a ball.
And that's what they were doing. They were showing like new ways to watch television while Skyping with your friends and IMing with your friends. So basically they came out with the equivalent of sitting with a laptop on your lap while watching television. They knew that they had to come out with games, so they really hit Monday morning with their press conference with a lot of games. And they're exciting, but there's still concerns that you can't trade your Xbox games in because you register each of them online with your Xbox password, your whole Xbox online ID. So it's registered. So if you were to like sell that game back or give the game to your friend,
it's all going to be in your name.
It's going to be in your name, and your friend will log on, and it'll be like, oh, sorry, you.
Because it's through his, and he can't get it.
They're trying to kind of hurt the GameStop secondary market, or the eBay, or you resold your Wii. They're trying to. A lot of the gamers are revolting against it. And then there's the Kinect, which is a camera system, which is for your motion control, which is cool. And that's really what I think is really cool about the Xbox, is that the technology of the Kinect is awesome. It really is motion. The motion control is going to go to another level.
The Kinect used to like obviously scan the room, put like dots on things, and so that's how it would you find your body. But now it's using like pulses of light that are used in like drones, how drones find each other, and how they do like 3D mapping from miles away.
It can tell where the impact is when you land, It can tell that your legs are putting pressure on the floor. It can do a lot of stuff, but it's always on. So it's always watching you.
Oh.
And a lot of people are like, wait, that's a big brother for me. And Sony came out with, they had a really funny video
You can't
online.
turn it off like I'm...
Yeah, no, it's...
Oh, my God.
So there's an eye on it. Obviously, the Kinect looks like a little red eye, and so it's there. And so, how do you know that they're not remotely turning it on and looking at what's going on?
Just
in your
call it
living room?
HAL at this point.
No,
Just call it HAL.
It is.
Like,
It really
the
is.
HAL 1. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So Sony, I don't know if you guys saw that funny video where Sony was like, oh, here's how we trade games for the PS4, and it had two guys, and one of them just hands the other dude a game.
Right, here you go.
That easy,
So
yeah.
you're saying PS4 is probably more gamer friendly, and then for the person who wants the smart television, more maybe into the NFL, because I know the NFL did a deal with Xbox, and how you're going to be, like I said, be able to Skype on the screen yourself because you have a 1080p camera now with the Xbox, and so you'll be able to do that through your television set. So really, the Xbox One helps your TV become a smart TV. So and if you are an NFL fan, you'll be able to watch the games like you've never been able to see it before, and follow your fantasy players. It's going to have a lot of interactivity with inside the NFL. They did a $400 million
That's what you're
deal.
saying. You don't
so,
need
like,
the big...
that stuff gamers don't give a damn about, but they're saying this is like for complete living room entertainment. I mean, you got something for dad on this, so the dad might more likely buy this if he's watching football on Sundays. But yeah, the games themselves, like I didn't like how with the Xbox One that you can't play the games that you had for your Xbox 360. There's no going back. It's like it's all
the
new
backwards
games.
compatibility is something that neither Sony or Xbox are kind of supporting. Nintendo's like, hey, you've been with us since 1984. So if you have games for the Wii, like when I got my Wii U, there were games that I had purchased for the Wii, but
I haven't even heard of Wii U.
Well, it just came out in December and or late November, and it's really it's an
second
HD
generation Wii. What you have.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
basically the Wii, but now you have a pad that you can play with. So you have an iPad looking thing that you can use in conjunction with the screen that's your television. And so if you have a bunch of friends together with like the Wiimote, you're basically like the dungeon master, or you're the person who's controlling like the map, and you can mess with them. Like if it's Mario and they're jumping around, you can make platforms that'll block them, or platforms that can help them.
Okay.
And it's really creating more of an interactive level to the games. And the cool thing about Nintendo at E3 was Nintendo actually had games you could play that they announced. Xbox came out and announced all these games, and then you had to sit through a bunch of demos for them where you see the developers play the games. Sony pretty much did the same thing. Nintendo had Mario Kart 8 on the floor. They had the new Super Mario 3D World on the floor. They had the new Sonic game on the floor. They had games that you could actually play that they'd announced. Sony was like, hey, our technology is so advanced. We're still working on everything.
Oh.
And
But Xbox,
It's
I
cool,
mean,
yeah.
as far as like I said, they at the unveiling or whatever, they also said they're going to come out with like a Halo live action TV show from Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. And
so they're producing their own like television content.
that's really cool, and that's kind of where everything's going. Like currently, if you're watching Defiance on Sci-Fi, you can go online and play the MMO game at the same time. So the storylines in the TV show go concurrently with the storylines in the video game. And I think with this new
my God.
Halo game, with Halo 5, you'll probably be able to watch the Steven Spielberg TV show and then go online with all your friends and play through
The storyline.
play through a storyline that you just saw in the episode that night, and then shoot your friends and teebag them and call them racial. If you like being called a racial epithet by a 14-year-old girl, let's do it. Halo in Call of Duty is the game for you.
Well, I see here that
I'm going to get all of them. You know that, right? Like
Right.
You
I run
have to, you
Geekscape,
have
so
to.
I'm going to get all of them. But PS4 is one that I'm really excited about.
The Xbox also did an exclusive deal with Activision for Call of Duty Ghosts. So I mean, for the COD fans out there, if it's an exclusive deal, then it's the only way you can get this game. So PS3 won't even have this.
And
game.
you get a dog this time, like a mind sniffing dog, which it just leads to tragedy.
Yeah, it's like
Go out there
you
and blow
actually
up.
feel your tears when your dog blows up.
Oh.
It's that high tech.
I'm excited about all of it. I'm excited about.
Are you
Xbox.
overwhelmed by anything, Jonathan London? Or is there anything? Because like I sit here now and I try to understand it, but there's so much. It's almost like a foreign language to me. Are you ever overwhelmed by it, or you just
got to pick and choose, really? Like
because there's so much?
Yeah, I read a lot about it. We talk a lot about it on Geekscape. Tonight we've got the voice of Altair from Assassin's Creed Revelations in studio, so we're going to talk video games with him. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the dialogue I speak, so you can kind of pick and choose what you're going to buy. So I don't buy every game. You know,
Okay.
I only buy the ones that I think would be fun or my wife would enjoy. Or
She
my
ever
friends
complain
would-
like that is
have a
all
wife?
you do?
Yeah, totally.
All you
Oh,
do.
wow, geeks get
No,
married.
I mean, you know, she doesn't complain.
It is your work, I guess.
She makes points. She's like, you've been playing a lot.
Yes, dinner. I said dinner. Dinner.
Or she says, I'll play like the 3DS in the bed, and she'll go, you know, she'll be strategic about it. She just won't be like, hey, just turn it off. She'll be like, bright screens before sleep hurts your ability to stay like asleep. So it's, you know, maybe. And I was like, okay, I'll swipe it out for a comic book.
And she's lying there
I
in
do
her
have breasts that
lingerie.
you can
She's
look
like,
at.
hey, here's my X and Y buttons right
I mean,
here.
the joke on Geekscape.
Want to
is
grab
that-
your joystick?
The joke on Geekscape, and this is maybe too much information, is that my post-coital cry is, well, back to comics. Like, we're good. Got
You
that,
don't have the cigarette. You're
Yeah,
like,
no.
lean back. Let's
got
see
that
what-
out of the way. Let's
what
read some comic
Superman's
books.
doing.
Yeah, let's catch back up with Batman and Freeze.
Before we go to break, we got some people calling. We got Andrew has a question for you, Jonathan. Jonathan London hanging out with us from Geekscape.net, has his podcast Geekscape, runs on Toad Hop Network tonight and every Thursday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. So obviously, we only had a little bit of time here to dive into stuff, but I mean, listen to his show tonight on ToadHopNetwork.com and Geekscape.net and really dig into the inner workings of all this. Let's talk to Andrew real quick. Andrew's got a question for you. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I'm the same. I own a PlayStation 3 as well as the Xbox 360. However, my PlayStation 3 gets a lot more use, and I think it's simply because my online play outweighs about 90 to 10. I heard rumors online that PlayStation 3, the PS Network, was no longer going to be free. I was just wondering if that's true.
Yeah, that's the rumor, really, and I'm with you. I play my PS3 more than I play my Xbox right now because, you know, the last time I played it heavily was the last Gears of War 3. I don't even acknowledge the one that just came out. But, yeah, I'm with you. I think the ability to go online and play free is really what's helping the PlayStation, and Xbox is making a killing online, and there's
If someone starts making a killing online doing something, then someone's going to follow.
PlayStation's probably going to go. So hey man, why don't you join me, Mario Kart 8? Well, you're like, no, I'm a gamer. I don't want to play the Wii. But yeah, no, I hear you, Andrew. I'd be really concerned if Sony started charging a subscription for their online because it's really great online, despite home.
So there was no talk at E3 about that being a possibility, or
Not that I've read.
Just
not
a
that I
rumor.
read. Yeah, not that I read.
Thank you, Andrew. Let's go to Justin on line 3. Hello, Justin.
Hey, hi there, Frank.
What's your question for Jonathan London?
There was one thing that wasn't really covered. You guys actually just covered it with the online gaming thing. The Xbox One also has to be hooked up to the internet once every 24 hours or the system shuts off.
Isn't that crazy? Like, what happens in 8 years when Microsoft says, "Hey, man, we're spending a lot of money keeping these, keeping these servers up"? What happens when they shut down their servers or move on to the Xbox 2, 3, etc.? You don't see Microsoft really doing that. But if you've ever played an MMO that has gone out of service, literally your game just stops being something you can play.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it seems a little Big Brother to me. They did a little bit of course correction with their, Monday morning press conference, but is it enough for us gamers who love the Xbox 360? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, really. You know what I mean?
Good, thank you, Justin. I mean, here's the thing. It's like you would think at Microsoft or Sony or the game developers or the console developers that there is a think tank with a bunch of guys sitting around a table who are like you. And it's like, what would be the best possible thing next? And so then when they actually put it out and there's this much criticism coming back from the community that they're targeting, how can they be so different from knowing what the actual audience wants? I mean, I ask you that, and then I realize that I'm in radio, and
Yeah.
and there's the same thing. I mean, where it's like you have the listener, and you have the host or the DJs, and how that opportunity for a DJ just to reach back and grab a song that he wants to play and go, here's what it is, and basically do their show with automation and everything else, and people who aren't radio people making the
you got
choices about what
bosses
happens.
Yeah.
It's probably the same thing in this industry where they're not really gaming people. They're not true nerds to that level where they don't they don't know, they don't really connect with their audience. Is that true?
No, I think Microsoft is listening. I think Microsoft follows all the Twitter stuff, all the Facebook talk. Microsoft is absolutely listening. Can they listen in time for their November Xbox One launch, because they have an entire business model in place right now? Can they shift it enough to please people like Justin and Andrew and I? We'll find out. I mean,
is the Xbox 360 going to be like just phased out like PlayStation 2 was, where it's like we don't like take games back, we don't sell games, and we're not making a new game, so it's
they all will, and like the PS3 is going to be. But sadly, do we need the Xbox One and PS3 yet? I think they saw the jump that the Wii gave, in 2006 with motion controls, and we're like, okay, we got to beat everybody to the punch with the next level. And the next level is home entertainment, being a part of the home entertainment, and also with Google Smart Glass, being able to integrate, your iPad, your iDevices, your Samsung tablet. There's games like Watch Dogs that's coming out for the PS4, and the PS3, where you can actually play the game with your buddies if he only has a tablet. And he's like on the subway or at work, he can help you change the game. Like you're running through the city and the cops are chasing you, he can start activating things like barriers and stuff, barricades that the cop cars will run into, or he can hack the police copter to lose you. And he's playing on an iPad. He may not even own it. I mean, I play a virtual reality game called Ingress on my cell phone, and it's literally Los Angeles. It's a global game, and it works with your satellite view, and you're hacking things all over it's in the game. It's
what
really
is this
nerdy.
called? You can get it on
Ingress?
my phone?
Yeah, you can play it on a Droid phone. I think you got the, you can play it on a Droid phone. It's fun. I mean, that's where everything's going. It's going to integration with both television, like the Halo stuff and Defiance, and it's also going into integration with what you're already using. Someone like Heidi, who only plays maybe Farmville. Hey,
how dare
there'll be a Halo for you. There'll be a Halo Farmville. You'll enjoy it.
There will be.
We're all going to be playing games.
Thank you so much for coming in. We are running late, but like I said, we could talk about this stuff for hours, and you can actually talk about that with Jonathan tonight on ToadHopNetwork.com. His podcast, Geekscape, is broadcast live there every Thursday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Thank you so much for coming in. We have to take a break and come back. I'll give you the results of that poll question we asked you earlier on HeidiandFrank.com. Do you own an adult toy? The options: no, only one, or several. We'll actually answer that when we come back. We're Heidi and Frank.
That was just a little sample of the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS. To get more samples like this and hear all the fun we have, you can do that at 955KLOS.com. Now, to get the show in its entirety on demand, and if you want to watch the show, we webcast it every day, all you have to do is go to HeidiandFrank.com and become a premium package member. Do it right now.